In this one press trip, I produced 5 episodes for my travel show, one including a charismatic local chef, a special home-cooked dinner in a real local home from another one, my first experience at a Caribbean Carnival celebration, all of these epic experiences and experiencing them for the first time. Let's talk about the importance of your travel colleagues, the chemistry of the group when you are on a press trip. Hi friends, we're rewatching my very first travel show, a show I self-produced from start to finish 10 years ago. I had a distribution deal to put it on Amazon Prime Video, but never put it here on YouTube. So that's what we're doing now. Welcome to the rewatch. So this trip was to the US Virgin Islands in 2015. Now remember, already my new career as a travel journalist, I had been to the British Virgin Islands. So was I like a pro for this part of the world? I kind of was feeling like it. No, for real, I really wasn't. But the feeling I was having was truly blessed and highly favored because I was getting all of this exposure to places I could never imagine going and doing on my own. Now remember, I was already an established journalist and had a career, and I was writing for a few big national outlets, US News and World Report, The Root, HuffPost. So that's why I was getting these invites. But I was a video journalist and producing this show. So these press trips allowed me to get juicy, beautiful content to feed this travel show. Now the tourism board did their big one with this trip itinerary. They assigned us a local chef to take us around to see his neighborhood, his island, a true local experience. Real cultural moments were built into the itinerary, including an invite to one of our host chef's friends into their house. Actually, when I think of this moment, I could still cry because it was just so special. We're gonna watch that in a few minutes. She invited us to her house and she cooked for us in her kitchen with her food. So just sit and imagine how special that really is. It was all still a whirlwind for me and it was perfect. But the other factor to make that experience magical was the other people who were on that trip. So imagine experiencing epic once-in-a-lifetime moments, these opportunities that these press trips often present, but with sucky people who spoil the moments. Believe me, I've had this before. In fact, I just returned from a trip where there was a Debbie Downer who really did sour our experiences when she was around. Luckily, the trip host picked up on that early and tried to separate us, giving her extra and other things to do that didn't interest the main group. Because on a press trip, you're spending 5 to 10 days with a handful of other journalists. Most of the time you start off as strangers. You ride in vans together, you eat every meal together, you see them tired, you see people hungover, frustrated, delighted, excited, working through deadlines as well. This is when you learn and observe how they work. This is when they also learn and observe how you work. But what's really cool is when you connect with someone and as you're experiencing these epic moments, like seeing the reveal of Machu Picchu for the first time or experiencing a carnival for the first time, and then you can look to somebody and say, wow, this is so cool. And now you're bonded forever because you experienced this life moment that was so cool and beautiful. And this person was there to look you in the eyes and feel your energy and experience it together. How could you not bond? In fact, some of these people I'm bonded for life. If you're lucky, those relationships compound. You refer each other to other opportunities. You vouch for each other to other brands. I actually know some travel writer friends who met on a trip, became best friends, and they often collaborate because they have powerful outlets that they work for. And they collaborate often, many times a year, to be on the same press trip so that they can continue doing their job together as colleagues, as co-workers, as best friends. And meeting friends this way, and of course the people on the ground, after 10 years of doing this, I still keep up with many of them. Social media helps me do this hands down. It's not perfect though, because so many people that I've met are the salt of the earth. And the last thing they're doing is being on social media. They are working in their towns and villages. They don't have time for this. And I understand that and I commend them, but I also miss out on their lives. Social media is truly the best way I can stay in touch with my friends from all over the world. And when I see them on my feed, it really feels like no time has passed. I cheer them on when they have marriages and births, and I encourage them when they are starting a new project or a business. Okay, so what's the takeaway here? Well, these press trips are more than just work trips. They're more than just gathering content and story gathering opportunities. This is my office space and a place where I've built my professional and personal network. And here's another lesson for creators. When you're evaluating whether to accept a press trip, ask who else is going. For the most part, the PRs do consider the chemistry of a group because they also will be traveling and want to have a good time too. But that's not always the case. Okay, so Enough with that. Let's see what you can pick up on these 5 episodes in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Oh, yeah. Virgin Islands, nice. So nice. I'm surprised.
3 main islands make up the U.S. Virgin Islands: St. John, St. Thomas, and St. Croix.
St. Thomas and St. John and St. Croix. Nothing can come between us but the waters that divide, yeah.
I hopped on a seaplane from St. John, the smallest of the 3, to St. Croix, the largest.
Yeah, a lot of people still going through strife, and still we live a joyful life. That's why the place nice, so nice, so nice. Sweet, sweet,
And just a hop, skip, and a jump, and we are here.
There's no doubt, the reputation of the food on the U.S. Virgin Islands precedes itself.
nice, so nice. St. John a real paradise.
Today, we're going on a personal tour around Christiansted from the island's official food ambassador himself.
But that was it.
Chef Digby, a chef who I've never seen more passionate about food.
Mama sent me school.
Our first stop was this cool little joint called Victor Menchos. A good old mom and pop shop with a fun history in the community here. Back in the 70s, the bakery would turn into a disco at night and run until fresh bread was being made. People would literally walk out as the sun was rising with a hot loaf of bread in their hands. Today, that's still somewhat the formula to their success. No disco, but fresh bread makes all the sandwiches. They're famous for their Cuban breakfast sandwiches. Come here anytime in the morning to noon and expect a line.
Swamped, so I'm a little behind schedule. If you don't mind, I'll be with you very shortly. I'm halfway through your order.
Digby grew up in St. Croix and was so amazing to watch him dig into the salt of the earth. Literally, we made several stops along the way as he foraged food for a dinner that he was making for us later.
Hey, you want to check out my chicken shop? I'll come out and get a fish.
Along the way, he couldn't help but show us this construction site of his new restaurant called Balter.
A garden. And that'll be a stage. And that'll be the courtyard leading into the restaurant. You know, it's gonna be something really special.
When you visit Christiansted, stop by. This place will be up and running.
So that right there is actually, that'll be the kitchen right there.
Digby walked us through the Danish-built town he says is currently under a revitalization. The cute shops and boutiques are favorites of tourists. St. Croix itself has a reputation of very, very affordable silver and gold.
So I participated in a Crucian tradition and got my hook bracelet. So I'm a part of the family. Thanks, Digby. It's like it's like a traveler's code, right? And it's sold from when your friends told me. And so when I go around the world, they would, hey, you've been to St. Croix.
You're not married because
I did it. She kept pushing that the other way. I was like, what does it mean? And then I was like, we need to turn that around.
Yeah, turn it around.
Wear the hook open to show that you are single and closed if you are married. It's a code that folks from St. Croix know.
She knows what's going on already.
Time for another food stop. Ital Paradise is a vegetarian Rasta food joint on the second floor of this building. I'm not quite sure what I ate, and I drank some fruit juice concoction, but believe me, it's all I read. Meeting some of Digby's friends along the way was such a privilege. Next, he took us to the studio to meet his childhood friend, Tippy. Tippy is the producer behind Pressure's hit and USVI theme song, So Nice.
Through a day and through a month and through a year, this is the only thing I can do is create, and I think that's what certain people are here to do.
Virgin Islands nice, so nice. I'm so proud to be from the VI, a place of history like the African side, yeah. St. Thomas and St. John and St. Croix. Nothing can come between us but the waters that divide, yeah. Even though we're just a few square miles, I travel around the world with Virgin Islands.
Our driver insists that we stop for some sugar cane juice, and you figure if anyone knows what they're doing with sugar, or the people here, on St. Croix.
So nice. Sweet, sweet St. Thomas, nice. So nice, so nice. St. Croix full of pure vibes. So nice, so nice. St. John a real paradise. So nice, so nice.
Thanks, Claudius. After much anticipation, we finally made it to the famous Chicken Shack.
If you ask a local, hands down, this is the best barbecue chicken on St. Croix. Its great taste comes from special seasoning and how it's slow cooked on pure coal.
We're gonna get some special treatment right now. We're gonna meet the owner of the world famous Chicken Shack. Hi, I'm JB.
I used to say it's like Crucian life. I remember this, and now this is. When you talk about this is the place.
That way we fire my only the one.
Yeah.
How many chickens a day?
¿Cuánto pollo al día?
5 cases. And each case being 12.
Whole chicken.
Whole chicken, yeah, 50, 60.
It's 12 chicken a case, 5 to 6 cases.
And you sell out? People come too late and it's gone.
This place is ridiculous.
Next time on Beyond the Usual, this is what happens when two of the island's best chefs get together and cook for you in their home.
Guys, this episode was so special, so nostalgic. First, let me talk about the Pressure song. So nice. You saw that we met the producer. And so I was very excited, very pleased that they let me license and use the song for this episode and the series. Anyways, it's really all about relationships, and it really is a small island in the vibes. And I will say that this has to be one of the most, even to this day, authentic local experiences where the tourism board assigned a local, because he was the brand ambassador, to take us around and show us his neighborhood, his country in such a prideful way. There's been recommendations that I know other local brand ambassadors have made to their destinations. And if I can let those reach destinations, let the locals share their experiences with press who are coming into town, because this was one of the most special trips ever. And again, I don't think I've had such a real experience since. All right, lots to do in this series, so let's move on to the next episode.
I'm on the hunt for wildlife. So spotted an iguana. I'm gonna see how close to let me get him.
Mounds of fish, fresh fruits, and vegetables. Have you ever in your life seen a spread like this?
Yeah, so I just been roasting the connect to get the sugar out of them. So I should start the process of letting all the heat out of the fish right now.
Two of St. Croix's top chefs decided to host an impromptu feast. And I was so blessed to be invited.
And this one has the maize too. Have you seen the nut? Did I show you the nutmeg?
In the kitchen of Tanisha Bailey Rocca, also known as the Crucian Contessa.
We're in for a special treat. Tanisha is making us some cocoa tea. Cocoa tea! You can only get in the Virgin Islands.
I'm Dominica and St. Lucia.
But really the Virgin Islands.
And the best cocoa tea is right in my kitchen.
Caribbean flavors abounded. It was like watching them do magic.
I don't like you, man. I try to do everything old school.
Of course, Chef Digby, who owns the oh-so-chic restaurant in Christiansted, Balter, said he couldn't wait to do something like this.
You know, like, you guys can go down there. You guys put me here to cook for you guys. finally cooking with Tanisha, like, there was a lot of emotion to feel for me.
And the emotions were flowing.
My friend Jamila just had a moment.
I had a moment.
Yeah.
Because no one ever cooks for me. So yeah, and my mascara's gonna be gone, so I'm gonna fix that.
It was more than just a dinner. It was a food fiesta.
Beautiful to experience and hang out with you for a day. And it looks like now you need a nap.
Yeah. But it's all good. Everybody's happy. Food served. Everybody's happy.
All right.
It's love, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Crucian is Irie.
Have you ever, that was everything. Oh, I have never experienced anything like that. That gave me all the feels, all the vibes, and I hope that episode translated all the emotions from the people preparing and hosting and from us as the guests. Just feeling so humble and honored to experience that. That was everything. Let's move on to the next episode before I start crying.
So one hand is always kind of...
So, it's my first time in a double kayak. And after some training, let's do this!
I was just told I'm the captain of the ship. Our adventure awaits, so we're gonna cross the channel and to a private island to swim and snorkel. I think it's a private island. We'll just say it's a private island.
You can't leave me alone, you know. You can't leave me alone, you know.
Double kayaking may be more work. Well, depends on who's doing the work.
You can't leave me alone, you know. You can't leave me alone, you know.
I must say, nobody can tell me that I don't have abs of steel or guns like a rock.
You can't leave me alone.
Short little travel vlog. I do remember that challenge of kayaking across, but also the challenge of how do you record on a kayak had been something I've been trying to solve for years. I had now found a resolution of this clamp clip thing that clamps on everything from bike handlebars, and it really clamps really nicely to kayaks. It's just that flexible. But then it looks like they must have had like that GoPro attachment to the top of the kayak to make that work. I'm not sure, I don't recall, but those were the two challenges of that little short but sweet episode. Let's move on to the next one.
This morning, the Caribbean Ocean is my personal swimming pool.
But first, we had to hike there. Through the path and into the National Park on St. John.
We've reached a fork in the road. I hate it when that happens. Left, right. We're gonna take right to the beach. Apparently left takes you to the city, and that's not where we're trying to go.
I didn't exactly play this right. Going to the beach, you don't want to wear hiking shoes, but in this case, maybe I should have.
Another fork in the road, but we're not sure which one. Now we've reached our destination, and it's totally worth it. It's like our own little private beach.
Perfect for epic selfies.
party's over.
That was so fun and cute moment with my friend Jamila. And wow, how many fish were in there. That was just so weird, that big school of little tiny fish and mixed around with the big fish right at the beach. It was such a beautiful moment. I think that was captured there. Just a little cute little short vlog. Let's move on to the final episode in the series.
July 3rd, 1848 was the emancipation of the slaves in the Danish West Indies. So, in true Caribbean form, they have a party. A carnival to celebrate. On the island of St. John, it's a month-long celebration. And you guessed it, since St. John is a U.S. territory, they give a nod to the 4th of July ceremony too.
Can you imagine celebrating the 4th of July on the clear and sandy beaches of the Caribbean, all while celebrating Independence Day? Well, you can in the USVI, and for American citizens, that means no passport needed, and they throw a fantastic party.
There's no way I can keep up with these islanders and all of their parties. After celebrating for nearly a month, the celebrations intensify on July 3rd, Emancipation Day.
As soon as I was introduced to Carnival, they say I lose all down on the ground, walking up the bottom and it's dragging all over tongue, and they say I lose. It was never a party at my school bazaar I used to go, but since I was introduced to Bacchanal, they say I lose. When I drop it hot and I wind it out on the speaker box and I grind it, and I know when to stop and they call it.
This party goes on for 24 hours, leading to Juve, which starts another celebration at dawn.
Listen, they've literally been partying all night. It's about 10 in the morning, and Juve started around 2:30ish, and I'm told they'll stop soon with just enough time to get ready for the parade. Happy 4th of July and welcome to the Carnival Parade here at USVI.
Oh, the glorious costumes, the floats, the kids, and all of the island queens. And it seems that everyone on the island came out to show off their cars.
There's little kids on stilts and people dressed as animals. Happy 4th of July.
The Moco Jumbies were my favorite. There's dance troupes represented from nearly every island in the Caribbean. Stories about ancestors. Folks work on their costumes for the next year as soon as this party ends. It's serious business to represent your set.
Here's something that I learned about the Caribbean. The music. It's just 1/6 too loud. Always. They don't just know how to do things just a little bit. There's 8 speakers on this float.
St. John has been a popular tourist destination for ages, and anyone is invited to participate in the parade. So of course there were those who were a bit confused and thought this may be a college frat party instead of an important local tradition.
We're about 4 hours in and there's a question mark as to when this will end.
Eventually we did. We left the never-ending parade and got something to eat. And that was just in time for the Star-Spangled Banner and fireworks over Camille Bay.
That was so fun. That was my first Caribbean Carnival, and I've been to others, and in retrospect, it was kind of tame. That one was in St. John. Now the carnival I explained in the video, you saw that it was for the independence of the island from slavery. And in retrospect, and I possibly could not put the dots together back then, but in retrospect, it's kind of ironic that they also celebrate the US 4th of July as a US colony. Let's move on. Also funny that I was aware enough in this video to call out the white people participating in the carnival and how it seemed a bit off. And one more thing, something that I've learned that I put together from these episodes of the Virgin Islands is that I wonder how it would if I could have connected the dots to all of these various experiences and just put it into one episode. Okay, let's see what is still open. Chef Digby Stridiron, he's now at Latha in Phoenix Heritage and Science Park, where he crafts a contemporary Pan-African narrative celebrating foodways across Africa, the Caribbean, Brazil, and the American South. This is a huge then versus now moment. He is a Emmy award-winning chef and former USVI ambassador. And yes, if you go to St. Croix, you can still visit his restaurant Barada. We saw it in the makings in the video. It was named the new heart of Caribbean cooking by Food and Wine. He's appeared in Netflix and in other major media. Career trajectory has moved this guy from the island to the mainland, even though when we did meet him and visit him, he did have connections to the mainland. He was working in the South. Cinnamon Bay Campground in St. John. It was devastated by Hurricane Irma in 2017. It reopened January 2022 after nearly 5 years of closure. It's now operated by a nonprofit. All proceeds support St. John. Bear sites, eco tents, and cottages are available. They range from $150 to $250 a night. And the campground closes between September and October for hurricane season. The St. John Carnival / Emancipation Day celebration still happens annually. It is a celebration for the end of slavery on July 3rd. 1848. And of course, you can do all the carnival things. Juve, there's a food fair, the Carnival Village, the parade, fireworks over Cruz Bay Harbor. USVI tourism post-Irma and Maria recovery has been a long road. The 2015 hurricanes devastated the islands. Cinnamon Bay alone took nearly 5 years to reopen. This is a real then versus now moment, because when I filmed this in 2015, everything has changed since then. Okay, so I think the USVI trip taught me that the destination is basically the cover story. It is the people that make the experience, and that's always the point. So next time, we're going to Indonesia, and this will actually be the last destination featured in Season 1. We're going to Bali, Flores, Komodo, Labuan Bajo, but plot twist. This is a dream destination, but this was one of the most hardest and challenging press trips I've been on. I hope you'll join me, and I'll see you in the next video.